Feminism, the belief in social, economic, and political equality of the sexes. I am of the belief that this definition portrays that all the sexes have a lot to benefit from feminism. I would also like to list down the benefits. The first, due to feminism, we have been blessed with many female leaders from which we even men are inspired and benefited. Example: Jayalalitha, Sushma Swaraj, Mamata Banerjee. Second, feminism has brought financial boost to families where only the males earn. Third, due to financial stability, fathers can work less and spend more time with their children and families. Fourth, due to feminism, men have mothers who guide them in their studies, sisters who help them in completing their homework, and wives who contribute with an equal footing. Fifth, due to feminism, gone are the days when women were just mere spectators to the many problems.
Stop.
Okay, thank you.
So now Aishwarya Shetty from opposing team would keep her views.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, audible. When I say start, then
Yes.
start your views. Start.
You all might have watched the very famous web series Panchayat on Amazon. It is quite a few very famous web series. I hope that you all might have watched it. In that, feminism is being very beautifully portrayed, in which way it is very much beneficial to men. A woman is shown as Sarpanch of a village, and her husband, and she didn't even knew how to administer the village. Her husband, instead of her, used to take the power and administer over the village. My question is that is in this way, woman feminism is beneficial to men. Is in this way, men can take advantage of feminism. So this is my question, and what that's it.
Stop. Now Dipali Singh from supporting team would keep her views or is supporting. Hello. 7034.
Yes.
Please switch on your camera.
Yeah, I'm doing.
So when I say start, then start your views. Okay.
Okay.
Start.
So first of all, I would like to say a line supporting the feminism theme, that is that feminism is not trying to take away from men, but it is trying to raise the level as men. So first of all, the first point I would like to say is that the Federal Bureau investigation, the definition of it consisted of only women but unless and until the women activists came forward and they started a campaign called as rape campaign, and where 160,000 emails were sent to the FBI. The second point I would like to say is that the feminist activists have always tried to kick the patriarchal beliefs out of people's mind. Because of this reason, the contribution of females in GDP has increased up to 17 to 18%. And it is more likely to increase even more.
Stop.
Okay.
Now Anushka Arora from opposing team would keep her views.
Yeah. Will you tell me when to start?
Yeah. Start.
Patriarchy has ensured that we live in a system where the value of every institution is based on whether it is advantageous or beneficial to men. So when posed with the question, is feminism beneficial for men? I would strongly say no, because simply that is not the aim of feminism. The aim of feminism is the upliftment of women to enjoy basic access to resources and privileges which they have been denied access to for so many years. For example, if a doctor is standing in front of two patients, one is healthy and the other is wounded, he will obviously give medical attention to the person who is wounded because that person is lacking in that field. Does that mean he's harming or benefiting the healthy person? It simply means that it's not about the healthy person in that moment. So maybe when we come to a world where there is less gender pay gap, less misogyny, and less patriarchy, we can think about designing a system beneficial to both genders. But as of now, the aim of feminism is and will be the upliftment of women so that they can reach that level of equality between two genders. So feminism is not beneficial for men, simply because it is not designed for that.
So as the code number 1147 is absent for the debate, so now Sukanya from opposing team would support the topic also and oppose the topic also. So on that basis, she will be judged. Code number 999660. Mic 9660, you are there in the meeting. Manisha ma'am, I guess she is not in the meeting.
Okay. Okay. We can take 1, 2, 3, 2.
Okay, ma'am. The results should be announced in 10 minutes for the second round.
Okay. Also, 2459 has not spoken, has it? 2459. Chirag.
Chirag, ma'am, he spoke.
Sorry?
He spoke, ma'am. He is in the supporting portion.
Also, 8922. Who's 8922? They have written in the chat that they have not spoken.
Ma'am, it's me.
But आपका नाम तो नहीं है बेटा. Can you look into this number, please? Who is this person?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
8922 is me.
Just a minute. Can you look into this person? Yeah.
So when I say start, then start your voice, okay? 8922.
Hello,
Ma'am, can I
8922.
start?
Yes, start.
Start.
When you think about feminism, the first thing that comes to mind probably isn't men, but it's strange that most
Recording
of
in
us
progress.
gender equality and only uplifting ladies when the women's liberation actually had a lasting impact on all of us. According to Fox News, the empowerment of a woman is a threat to international security, causes boys. Utter failure in school and has turned men into weeps and vicious, as well as slackers. Female breadwinners are also apparently a problem. While that's one way of seeing it, another is to look at the host of ways that feminism has actually made the world a nicer place to live for everyone. Since Jelena Maxwell so brilliantly explained how the movement has helped women, let's look at 20.
Stop.
Okay. I'll inform the result in 2 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, won't be
Yes.
rebuttaling anyone?
Just a minute. There's also 9768. Who is 9768?
Ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi. Are you a student?
Sorry, you are in school right now, 9768.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You want to speak?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, so when
The
I
men's
say
rights
start, then
movement
start
is
your
a
voice.
branch of the men's movement. The MRM
in particular concept of a visit of groups and individuals who focus on general social issues and specific government service which advisory impact or in some case structurally discriminate against men and boys. Common topic discussed within the men's right movement include family law, alimony, and material property, reproduction, suicides, domestic violence against men, circumcision, education, concentration, social safety nets, and health politicians. The men's right movement branched off from the men's liberation movement in the early 1970s, with both groups
Stop.
part of.
So, ma'am, the results will be announced in 10 minutes, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Just a minute. 9768. Which class are you from?
Yes, ma'am.
Which class are you from?
First year.
First year. Okay, cool. Okay. We wouldn't be rebattling anyone. No. If we are going to directly go to the second.
You unmuted me.
Sorry.
What happened? You unmuted me.
Sorry, 8, 9.
I'm not getting you.
Ma'am, when she was
Hello?
speaking now, so
Ma'am.
I got that host will like to
Sorry,
unmute.
the girl, her mother spoke, so she would be verified. Sorry.
I am not able to understand anything that you're telling me. Can you come again,
Ma'am,
please?
I am telling that when she was speaking now, then that time I got a message that host will like to unmute you.
Okay, no. It's okay.
Ma'am, is there going to be any rebuttal rounds that will be taking place?
No. So what we're going to do is we're going to select people from this round, and then we're going to
Hello, what happened, Manisha? Manisha, can you hear me? What happened? Okay.
Results will be announced in 10 minutes.
Who was the last person who talked? Who was the last person who talked?
Ma'am, 9768.
Sorry?
9768.
9768. Where is 9768?
Ma'am, you only removed her, no?
Yeah, because so she is also a student.
Yes,
Is
miss.
she the student?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Is she related to you?
Yes, miss. She is my sister only.
Okay. Okay. So since somebody was, helping her from behind, we have to remove her. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. I'll send the result.
Hmm.
Hello. Hello, the participants selected for the second round from opposition team is Anamika and Anushka. So the participants selected for second round is 1D3795 and 1D6025. And from opposition team, 1D2459 and 1D3154.
Are these people selected or are they rejected?
Yes, you are selected for the second round.
Oh, thank you so much.
Please repeat the will you please repeat the opposition name, code number?
Opposition 1D3795 and 1D6025.
And the
Okay, thank
supporting
you.
ones again, can you do that again? I'm so sorry.
So rest of the participants in the meeting, participants be ready for the second round.
Excuse me. Can you repeat the supporting ones again?
Yes, sure, sir.
Sure.
Supporting 1D2459 and 1D3154.
Thank you so much.
Opposing 1D3795 and 1D6025. So the topic for the second round is impact of Western culture on Indian pros and cons in preference with food, language.
Can you type it down, please?
Fashion.
Yeah, can you type the topic in the chat box?
Take 5 minutes to think on the topic, then we start the second round. The topic is
can you please type the topic down in the chat box?
Okay, sure.
Hello.
Impact of Western culture on Indian pros and cons in reference with food, fashion, and language. Is the topic clear to all the participants? Hello.
I had just one question. Who exactly is speaking about the pros and the cons? Like,
We have to speak.
depends on us, or are we divided into teams?
It depends upon you whether you want to say with food or fashion or language.
Huh?
I think we have to speak about both pros and cons.
Yes,
Oh,
we
is
have
that
to speak
so?
on both pros and cons in reference with food, fashion, and language.
Okay. Thank you.
So
How
we are
long do
covering
we have
both
to speak?
pros and cons. So how will it turn into a debate if you are covering both pros and cons?
I would like Ralph and Dipali to go for con, and Anushka and who's another person? Chirag
Yeah,
to go for pro.
cool. Thank you so
Ma'am,
much.
so we have to use food, fashion, and language as a reference. Like, we have to
Yes,
speak
yes,
regarding it.
that is true. But then we need to have two teams which are going against each other, right?
Okay. So we are speaking about the cons regarding food, fashion, and language. Me and Dipali, I guess.
Yes. So two people, Ralph and Dipali, are for cons, right? And two people are for pro. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Fair enough.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And since we are since we have a lot of time, right? I would like you to explain one point at a time. So give me a heading of a point and then explain it, right?
All
One
ma'am.
point at a time.
Each participant will
Let's
get
go
a time of 1 minute.
No, they are not going to. No,
Yeah,
that's
1
what
minute
I'm
is too
saying.
small.
Let them, since we too small, they cannot speak, right? So let them speak 1 point at a time. No, not more than 1 point. You have to elaborate on 1 point. Yes?
Sure, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am,
And since
how
we are only
long-
4 people in the final, as soon as you can. So I'm going to judge you how fast you can keep your point.
Ma'am, but like if suppose I'm speaking about fashion, how long like will I have totally to put all my points across? Like the
So
total time.
till I ask people to stop, like, you know, you have kept 1 point, okay? Then you have to be quiet and another person will counter on that. Okay? And we are going to go like, you know, in a ping pong manner. So 1 person from the pros team, 1 people from the cons team, right?
Good.
Shall we start?
Sure.
Yes. So who's going to start? Ralph, are you going to start?
Ma'am, I would need 1 more minute.
Okay. Who's
Should I
going
go
to
ahead?
start? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
So I'm talking for the pros of the motion, and I'm saying, yeah, the impact of Western culture in India has some pros in it, and I'm going to cover the topic of language. We all know that India is a country where language has a really important part to play, and every 100 kilometers, language changes in India. But I feel a Western language like English made us a lot closer and made us a lot easy to trade with other countries as well. That's the reason I feel a Western language like English is important for India, because it brought in 3 things for India. First thing was it brought in India a lot closer with the world. Second point was it brought India in a whole spectrum of new jobs that we have, the BPO centers that we have. And third point, India could now participate in international competitions in international place where they could, contest in English, and that gave them a whole new stage and whole new arena to compete in. And one more thing about languages, we didn't fight on what language to trade in, which was India's fight for a whole century. Ma'am,
Beta, what's your name? We are letting them complete the point. They cannot complete a point in a minute, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I will go ahead. So India for a century was fighting along the points that which language should be the one for the trade. And that's the reason India came out as a really confused nation when we didn't have a common language for trade. But now that's not the point. We can trade with any country in the world because of English. English made a bridge between West and India. And I feel that's the reason English became a really wonderful thing and a really amazing pro that we got from the Western culture. And that's my point. Thank you so much.
Ralph and Dipali, who's going to counter?
Ma'am, may I?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Westernization is a term which means Western impact on our Asian countries. Westernization has led to complete extinction of many ancient recipes that existed in our country. As you can see, that the food are replaced by food joints are replaced by pasta, pizza, burgers. These food joints are replacing our local food. Long ago, Indians used to wear dhotis and saris. Now it is reduced to wearing ethnic wear only on important days. English has also replaced many of our mother tongues. If you ask any Indian to name the number of languages in our country, the maximum number they could come with is maybe 16, 17, but there are more languages than that. I think that's an important point, that Western impact on our society has increased to an extent, and it should be stopped. Thank you.
I would like to rebuttal here. Is that cool if I come in?
I want Anushka to speak.
Can I put forward my point and also do a little counter, if that's all right? Like first, so I would just like to counter this point by saying that I feel like the fact or the main aim of westernization is to provide more exposure and to provide more choices. So if I'm a proud Indian and I want to stick to my roots, I can still do that while being exposed to certain Western choices and cultures and food and language and fashion, and still be given a choice to choose where, eat, and speak in whatever language, food, or culture that I want to. So that's my first counter. And I would also like to speak about the point of fashion and how westernization has actually affected in a positive way and brought about changes in fashion. So firstly, I would like to say that it's brands like Zara, H&M, and many other Western brands have given a lot of choices and a lot of sense of freedom and confidence to Indians to choose from and decide their fashion choices and completely revamp their personality based on what they want to wear, what they like to wear and wearing. Now, I just want to reiterate that does not make them any less Indian or any less proud of their culture. Personally, I want to speak about a personal example. I love wearing Indian clothes. I love wearing traditionals, but it does not mean that just because I wear something Western, it makes me less of an Indian. So I just want to say one thing, that you can wear a traditional outfit and be the least Indian person I've met, or you can even wear a Western outfit and be the most Indian person I've met. So people often make this mistake that they associate that fashion is actually negative because it's, taking us away from their roots. But I would just like to say that it's our beliefs and our values that make us more Indian and not the clothes that we wear. Thank you.
Ma'am, can I comment too? Is ma'am here or is she facing an internet trouble? Yeah. Hello, ma'am.
Dipali, are you there? Okay. I would like Dipali to. Hello? Hello? Is Dipali there? No?
Yes, ma'am.
Dipali is there? Dipali? Yes, Dipali.
No, ma'am, it's Anamika, but can I start mine?
Okay. Can you give me a minute? Just a minute.
Yeah.
Till when will it get resumed? Tahir, any idea about that?
Okay. Anush, Anamika, yes. Yes, Anamika, continue. Sorry for the delay.
Ma'am, I have 3 points. First about language.
But 1 point only. You can keep
Okay,
only
okay. In the mix, I will mix it. In the
Yes.
ancient era, we have lots of languages, but that time we also do it, right? But that time we don't have that much problem. But now, why people thinking that we have so much problem with having so many languages? Like country like Japan, South Korea, Russia, they do their trade in their language. They do their conference, global conference in their language. They don't have any that type of problem with English. They are not very into English. Then why we are in that? And my in the about the fashion, we are about the fashion. Indian, we are in the edge of extension. Our own ethnicity, our own Asian style design. We have our own type of dresses. We have our own type of design in the cloth, but we are losing them. People are going for jeans and foreigner cloth, but people not thinking out the design. We are losing every day. The languages we are losing every year. We lose almost 50 languages. It's not a big issue for our country, is it? It is a big issue. And I want to talk about the food, the foreigner frozen food. We have many people who eat foreigner food, but there is no country who eat Indian food as a that much level, that much we are giving to foreigner food. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, who would like to
Ma'am,
counter on?
can I come in?
Yes, Chirag. Yes,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So, ma'am, the first point that my dear friend Anamika mentioned about foreigners not eating Indian food. If you go in US, or if you know that UK's national dish is actually chicken tikka masala. So that's a dish that they take from India to their place. And in the language English, there are many words from Hindi and from various different Indian languages. The word loot was actually looted by the British because it was an Indian word called loot and it meant that. And again, I would like to point out one single thing. This whole debate can be summed up in a single song phrase. कि मेरा जूता है जापानी, पतलून इंग्लिस्तानी, सर पे लाल टोपी रूसी, फिर भी दिल है हिंदुस्तानी. The culture rise. Can I complete my point? Anything?
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, sir.
Yeah. So the culture lies in your heart. Culture isn't made by the clothes you wear. Culture isn't about the languages you speak. Culture is about what's in your heart. An Indian isn't an Indian because when he wears a turban. An Indian isn't Indian when he wears a kurta. Indian is an Indian based on his value. And we were the country who told the world that we are one big family. We had the concept Vasudev Kutumbakam. When we say Vasudev Kutumbakam, we all come together. And when we come together, there needs to be some homogeneity. And that's the reason we adapted to English. And as you said, all those countries were talking in their own languages, but those countries are developed countries. And we are still a developing country, and all the employment opportunities that come to our country come from Western countries. There is a lot of foreign index fund that comes into the country, and when it comes, it has some conditions with it. And we need to adhere that conditions to progress as a nation. We can't stick on what we will follow our language. You know, Pakistan did the same, and we all know what Pakistan is right and what India is. India is always welcoming. India has always been welcoming. India never said that no to any language. India never said no to any culture. And I feel this point that bringing in Western culture will destroy us is really, I feel, not a valid argument. And ending this thing by saying frozen food is not just in India. हमारे इधर भी मटर मिलता है frozen. So it's a worldwide concept. Thank you so much.
Ralph, would you like to counter on that, or would you like to make a point?
Yes, ma'am. When he said that उन्होंने जैसा बोला कि वेस्टर्न कल्चर हमारे कल्चर को डोमिनेट नहीं किया. अगर I have met many people who don't even speak the mother tongue, but they can speak English. To some extent बहुत डोमिनेट कर लिया वेस्टर्न कल्चर ने हमारे कल्चर को.
Ma'am, Western culture, they see their culture as a business and they work on it. But our Korea and many Japan, they are developed country. But I want to say when they was not developed country, they were developing country. They use their own languages, and now they become a developed country. Do you think learning doing engineering in our own mother tongue, in our own language,
I
can
feel it will not, because all the employment opportunities that come to our country are basically from international multinational companies which operate in US, UK, Singapore, all of these countries. If you see the second biggest economy in the world, China. China is also now switching to English. China is making it compulsory for the kids to learn English because they know the power of English. They know that English is going to stay for a longer period of time. And China is a country where nationalism is on its peak. But China still understood the power of English and they adapted to English. And I feel that till the day we are stuck. This is nothing but xenophobia. We are all afraid of a culture that's not our culture. But when we accept that culture with open arms, saying that, okay, you have your culture, I have my culture, we can both exchange some things from each other's culture. I feel that would be a day where we really progress. But every now and then we are just busy, fighting whose culture is better than who. It's not about that, it's about collaboration. And I feel collaboration will bring us higher.
Yes. Anushka? Anushka, you want to point? Okay, now I think we are discussing about effect of India. Like, we are not talking about pros and cons. We are done. One topic is done. Okay, the cultural part is on the next stage. There are other things also that need to be discussed. So can we move on to the next point?
Sure.
We've been countering on the same part, right? Anushka want to speak. Anushka, do you want to speak?
I wanted to counter a little bit and also put forward a point. I think it will be a little repetitive, so I will make it quite short. I just want to say that, like, mother tongue anymore, but I would just like to say, and I'm speaking for myself, and I think I can speak for a lot of people when I say that I still go home and eat my roti, bhaji and sabzi, and I still speak in Hindi and my mother tongue with my family and my parents. So I think it's about choices. It's about having that luxury of choices and that exposure to different cultures and still choosing your own culture. So that choice that you choose and that choice that you make to choose your culture depends on you as a person. If you want to preserve your culture, you will make that conscious choice to still preserve your culture. Like, for example, Manisha ma'am now may be wearing something traditional, I may be wearing something Western. Does that make any of us less or more Indian? No, it's the same. We are the same people from the same country. We speak the same language. We're still united. Just because our choice of clothing is different doesn't make us any more Western or any less Western. So that's the only thing I want to say.
And now I'm coming to the next point
Can
that
we
you
raise another point?
Ma'am, I feel the coming to food, we are all really concerned about readapting to Western food, but that's not it. We are adapting to multiple food cuisines every now and then. I don't eat burger every day. I eat roti sabzi every day. I do eat dal chawal every day. Still, my favorite dish is vada pav, which is entirely Indian. And if you see, pav comes from Goa. So does that mean I have some relations to the Portuguese? I don't think so. It's an Indian dish, and every dish that comes to India from the West gets Indianized. Indianization of a dish is a really particular thing in India. The pizza that you eat in Italy is far more different than the pizza that you eat in India, find in India. And I think that's the beauty of India. Every other country, when India was made, some people said that Prime Minister Nehru was a fool bringing in so many different languages together, bringing in so many different cultures together. People said that this won't last even 5 years together. When in a period everyone was talking about creating a one single nation with one single identity, one single religion, Prime Minister Nehru, Gandhiji, Sardar Patel stood up and said that no, this is a country of multiple cultures. This country will accommodate every culture that it gets. And now there are some people who are coming out and saying that this is not our culture. India's culture is not defined. India's culture is fluid. And that's our biggest power. We have always been fluid, and that's the reason we have always welcomed new culture in our culture, and we have accommodated those new cultures in our. So I feel being an Indian, any culture that comes into the way, we Indianize it in our own way and we live with it in our own way. And I guess that's how we should live life in our own way and not some predicted way that people think you should.
Can we have somebody from the con side to talk? Ralph from Anamika.
Now, if no one is raising a point, like then I can.
Just
Ma'am, may I?
yeah.
So when we talk about food, मैंने ये difference देखा है आजकल के youngsters में. Ma'am, is there any disturbance in the background?
No.
Okay. When we choose between a dhaba and McDonald's,